My name is Artie Jones, and I serve as the Executive Director of Clearly College Park, the development authority for the City of College Park. And today I'd like to welcome Chief Ferman Williford, who serves as the Police Chief of the City of College Park. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. Well, Chief, first and foremost, could you please tell us a little bit about your responsibilities with the City of College Park?
Well, as police chief, I'm responsible for, of course, law enforcement in the city of College Park and coordinating those efforts with other jurisdictions neighboring with us and forming partnerships to effectively provide law enforcement services.
Okay. Well, Chief, I've been with the City of College Park for just about 5.5 years now, and since I've been here, you've served as the Deputy Chief, and over the last year, you have been actually promoted to the Police Chief position. Could you tell me a little bit about your background prior to coming to the City of College Park?
Well, prior to coming to the city of College Park, I was in the Army for almost 8 years. I was actually a bomb tech in the Army. I served on the explosive ordnance disposal team for 5 of those almost 8 years, and came to the city in 1985 within a couple of days after getting out of the Army.
Cool. All right. Well, tell me this. When you were very young, did you always know that you wanted to be in law enforcement, or is it something that you kind of just fell into, or is it, maybe a father was, in law enforcement? How did you know that, being in law enforcement was for you?
It was something I toyed around with as a kid, and then got away from that as I got older in my teen years, and was thinking more about maybe becoming an attorney. Went to college for a while, working full time, and kind of fell into law enforcement. And then at some point in time, law enforcement wasn't happening quickly enough for me, so I joined the Army.
Okay. Well, that's interesting that you would say, you were looking at going into actually being an attorney. That's what I actually aspired to be at one time. And, life throws jabs at you, and you bob and weave and go back and forth. Yep. And you find yourself in a situation. But I feel that I could not think of you as an attorney. I see you as law enforcement. I see you as the police chief. A very, very stressful job, a job with a tremendous amount of responsibility. Not only are you responsible for all of your staff, but you're responsible for pretty much everybody within the city, even those that are visiting.
True. And, we have a population of about 15,000 people, residential population. Our average daily population is upwards of 200,000. So that's 200,000 lives we're responsible for. And it's a pretty big responsibility. And we take it seriously.
Yes, I see that you do. Well, I'm responsible for attracting businesses to College Park. I'm responsible for retaining businesses. Lots of times, businesses that are interested to come here to College Park will, they'll ask me very pointed questions. They'll ask me about, why did you, about our crime rate, and they will sometimes mistaken us, the crime rates in other areas for what's in the city of College Park. Could you explain a little bit how crime statistics are calculated to help give all of our viewers an understanding that College Park has some of the lowest crime rates in the Atlanta metro area when you consider the population?
True. The way the crime stats are calculated, they are calculated on residential population only, based on the census data. Census data puts us, the last census is just under 15,000 in population. And they don't take into account the demographics of the city and then the makeup. The average daily population of City of College Park is somewhere around 200,000 people.
Wow.
If we have events going on, Super Bowl and the NCAA Final Four and other large events, that population could spill in upwards of 300,000 people. And then you factor that we're right next door to, and actually the Hartsfield and Jackson International Airport is a large portion is within the city of College Park, and the people that come through there adds to our population. So, and all those things are not taken into account. It's strictly the Census Bureau residential population, not the average daily commuter population.
And that's what I'd like for all of our viewers to understand is that College Park, we have a very robust police department here. I've come from a community with a population of 17,000 before working with the city of College Park. College Park has a population of 15,000, so it's 2,000 more from where I came from. Within that police department, they had 35 sworn police officers in a population of 17,000. Here in the city of College Park, how many sworn officers do we have?
104.
104. So almost, 3 times as many officers here in the city of College Park as you would find in another community of, a relatively, about the same size. So College Park, I feel, goes above and beyond when it comes to law enforcement. So tell me about, are there any particular programs out there within the police department of the city of College Park where you engage the community to build relationships and you can have the community to kind of get more involved so they don't become victims of crime?
Well, we have a robust community-oriented police program. They're constantly at events, and I make an effort personally to attend some of those events. Every year we have an event called National Night Out, and that's usually on the second or the first Tuesday of each August. And we average an attendance of about 3,000 people from within the community at that event. We've started a new initiative. We just did one 2 weeks ago where we're going into communities, taking our grills in and cooking burgers and dogs and passing out soft drinks and just meeting our citizens.
Right.
And that's a new initiative. It was well received our first time. We've got one coming up next month, as a matter of fact, in the apartment complex. So we're looking forward to getting those things done. We're going to try and do at least 4 a year, maybe more.
Right. And I remember my kids are big fans of the Police Night Out. They're always at that event. That's a very well-attended event. Also, I've seen your community officers. They're at pretty much all events all over the city. And one thing about the city of College Park and officers here, they really engage the community one-on-one. You feel that officer or those officers are almost like an extended family outside of, the family that you actually live with. So I think that's one plus, a big plus with the city of College Park. Now, tell me this. Now, I know that you've heard about all of the development that's going on around the city. There's a lot of cranes all over the city with parking decks being erected, new office buildings, a new arena will be opening in the middle of October of this year, and the Airport City development, a 420-acre mixed-use development. What is the College Park Police Department doing to kind of keep up with all of the development, the influx of new visitors, and also the new residents that will be locating in these developments?
Our primary mission right now is to maintain our strength, our personnel strength, and we will gauge as we move along if we need to request more slots or not. I think right now, at full strength, we'll be able to keep a pretty good handle on the situation. We're looking forward to the growth, quite honestly. You know this, but for those who don't know, College Park has the second largest concentration of hotels in the state of Georgia. We have a cluster of hotels, I think right now 34 operational hotels, and we have, 2 or 3 more coming up.
Yes.
So we're growing, we're excited about the growth and the opportunities it's going to bring us, and not only for the city itself, but also for our employees and the opportunities it provides there.
Yeah. And about 3 months ago, I was able to attend an event over on Godby Road. There's a new police precinct that has just opened. How will that actually help the city of College Park as far as law enforcement?
Well, it'll put a presence into that area. We've already moved a couple of our units down there, and they're in and out frequently. The precinct is manned 24/7. We have a station officer assigned there, so anyone in that area can walk in and speak to an officer, and so we can deal with their issues directly from that area.
Yeah, and I think it's great where it's located. It's located right beside the Tracy White Recreation Center, so that anyone utilizing that facility, most I guess they're mostly youth that utilize that facility,
Yep.
but they can see officers on a daily basis, know that they are friends and not enemies.
That's correct.
And officers, often I'll see them, playing basketball, and like I said, they will be mixing and mingling with the residents,
Yes.
which I think is a plus, the relationship.
Absolutely.
Officers are less likely to, and at the same time, the community members are less likely to bump heads when they know each other versus a stranger meeting a stranger. And I think that's a big plus.
And we encourage our officers to do that, to get involved with the kids, and even the regular beat officers who aren't assigned to the community police unit. We encourage them to get out of their cars,
Right.
and talk to people and foster friendships and get to know the people that we're working for.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about, Godby Road and the new precinct, since I'm working on a redevelopment plan on Godby Road and Old National Highway, a redevelopment plan I think that will kind of change the face of the city of College Park for more years to come. I feel that it has as much or more potential than the Airport City project if we do things the right way within that area. But tell me some of the initiatives, some of the things that have been taking place over on Godby Road. I know that there's been several apartment complexes in that area that have been purchased, have been shut down, have been, cleaned up, renovated, rehabilitated, and they've moved new residents into that area. Tell me what part did the police department have to play in that overall, process, and crime rates then versus crime rates now?
Well, as you know, Artie, before this developer bought these apartment complexes and did a major facelift on a couple, and I think there's more to come. That area was in dire need of redevelopment, and the redevelopment has reduced our numbers tremendously in terms of crime and violent crime. We haven't had that much crime down there since that development has taken place, and it's still ongoing. And we're looking forward to seeing those changes and new business coming in down there.
Well, tell me this, as like I said, you have a lot of responsibility, a very stressful job. Your officers are out there in the line of danger on a daily basis. Sometimes you go home and sleep. How do you find time to unwind, and what do you do to be able to kind of to relax and not be so tense? I know that you have a strong support system in the officers that work with you. Kind of talk about the officers that you work with, your leadership style, and how do you do it all?
Well, one of the things that I have to do as chief is to look at the needs of the city and the needs of the department, and a big part of that is officer development, personnel development, and I'm just now getting my feet wet with that piece, and I'm looking forward to helping our officers better themselves, encourage them to get better education, encourage them to get all the training they can get to better learn their craft,
Right.
and encourage them to do that. For me personally, what I do in my off time a lot of times is I do some reading once in a while. I walk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go out in the woods somewhere and just look at nature and walk. I'll hike a trail somewhere and just wind down that way.
Right.
And those are some of the things I do to kind of decompress, so to speak.
Within the city of College Park, I look at the city of College Park when I look at all the cities in the South Metro area. I see the city of College Park as being kind of a leader amongst the cities.
Yep.
Not to say that we lead everything. We are followers when we have to be. But when I look at the police department here, I see our police force as being leaders also. But tell me this, how important is it that we collaborate with surrounding agencies in the other cities and also Fulton County and Clayton County to be able to address crime? Because crime has no boundaries.
Absolutely not.
So tell me how important is it, and how do we work with the other communities?
We work closely with other communities. We have a network of investigators and leaders that we work with constantly. Our city is transitional, and most of the cities in South Fulton are transitional in some way or another. And so we recognize that. For instance, car thieves. They're coming from Atlanta, or they'll come to Hapeville and roll over in East Point and the College Park and then move down to Union City or South Fulton. And we're passing that information along constantly. We get information from other agencies that they'll pass it along as quickly as we will. We're using email, we're using social media apps, all those things to communicate with each other. And we're using secure communications to kind of keep under the radar so the criminal element isn't aware of what we're doing.
Right. Well, tell me this. We work with, we work with the other cities. We try not to work in silos because, it doesn't help us when we work alone because, like I said, crime has no boundaries. How does the police department work with the CIDs, though the Aerotropolis CID, as far as law enforcement also?
Well, we work pretty close with the CID. We're trying to strengthen that relationship. Whatever assistance we can render to the CID, we're available to do that. And we've called on them for a couple of things. I think a couple of years ago they helped us to obtain some technical equipment to help us locate vehicles and suspects. So we do have a partnership, and I think we can find ways to strengthen that as well.
Okay. If I were a business wanting to come to the city of College Park, if you were talking to a business owner, and sometimes, I send businesses to you, I give them your information because they want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Why should a business come to the city of College Park?
College Park is a great place to be. I've been an employee by this city for 34 years. I live here. This is home.
Mm-hmm.
And despite all the hype that you see talking down about College Park, don't believe it. Again, we don't police just 15,000 people. We look after about 200,000 on a daily basis. We're right next to the airport. We're in close proximity. Transportation is easily available right here at your fingertips. There's no reason to go anywhere else. College Park has a lot of opportunity, and it's a good place to be. You're within 15 minutes of downtown. And if you like the downtown life, it's right up the street. And with the things we have going on and the arena coming up and all the hotels, there's good things going on here within the city itself as well.
Okay. And what type of new initiatives does the police department have that we may be unaware of that you would like to share with our viewers?
Well, one thing we're about to do is we're in the process of adding security cameras, growing that network, and adding license plate readers to identify criminal elements that are coming in the city and through the city. Try and close off some of the pathways, or at least lock down some of the pathways of problem areas and get those identified, get suspects identified more easily, leverage technology to help make our jobs easier and to help make us safer.
Okay. And then also, I was in a couple of council meetings probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago when the police department was, authorized to purchase body cameras for all the officers and everything. Mm-hmm. Is that a requirement that officers have body cameras on them when they're out, going about their various duties? And
Yep.
Do you feel that that's effective?
It is effective. And the body cameras initiative has been a great initiative for us. It records. We're recording every conversation we have with a citizen pretty much, and if it's of evidentiary value, we keep it and tie it to a case, and then we keep it for a minimum amount of time, even if it's not of evidentiary value. But it's been a great tool for us, and we encourage it, and it's a requirement for the officers to wear it.
Okay, that's great. Technology is good. And in addition to that, let's say, for instance, someone out there in the community is interested in a career in law enforcement. Where would they start? If they were interested in coming to the City of College Park to work with the City of College Park, where would they start? Are there any job openings? And kind of explain some of the various divisions and positions and the things that you can do within a police department.
Okay, we have a number of positions in the police department. We have, of course, police officers, and within the ranks of police officers, we have our patrol unit, we have an investigative unit, we have a special operations unit, which is kind of a anti-crime unit. We have our community-oriented police unit. As a extra duty, we have a SWAT team, officers negotiations, those kinds of things. We also have our own 911 center. So there's 911 operators positions available. We still have positions available there and as police officers. And we have a few administrative positions as well. The best place to go to apply for one of those positions is to the city's website. That's collegeparkga.com.
Okay.
Fill out an application online, and then we'll process it and get it going.
What would you like to say to the community? Well, first, are there any kind of misconceptions or anything out there that you would like to address within the community since you have this platform right now? So many times, because social media travels so fast, you'll get a snapshot of something, but it won't be the entire story. Is there anything out there that you would like to clear up, or is there anything that you would like to talk to the community about?
Well, it's my pleasure and I'm honored to be the police chief in College Park. As I said, it's home. I've been here a long time. I know the community. I know many people in the community, and I'm honored to be able to serve the citizens of College Park. And we're trying to grow our police department to be more in tune with our citizens, and that's a big project for us, and it's important for us to do. That said, we're also serious about law enforcement. We're serious about about keeping crime down and making the city safe and all of those things. We typically, in the last year, we took 374 guns off the street.
Wow.
During law enforcement activities. That was 374 opportunities to, in my mind, a shooting was prohibited or prevented by doing that. And those are initiatives that the law enforcement part of it is serious to us. We take it seriously, but just as serious is our connection with the community and having our community trust us. And we'll do everything we can to foster that trust and build that relationship.
Okay. Well, I've been doing this economic development thing for about 20 years now, and I've often felt that economic development was the lifeblood of a city, but after talking with you, I feel that law enforcement truly is, because if there isn't, if you have a crime-ridden community, businesses aren't going to stay here. Residents aren't going to stay here. It won't be a great environment for raising children, going to school. I mean, everything. I feel that, law enforcement, it keeps honest people honest. You're going to have some of those ignoble impulses out there that are going to do bad things, but that's when law enforcement steps in to remove them from the community, and so that we can have a higher quality of life. So I really appreciate, you coming to share with us, what's going on within the College Park Police Department and the great things underway and the great things that you'll be doing in the near future. It's an honor to work with you, and it's an honor for me to be able to interview with you today and to communicate with you on the great things going on within the City of College Park, regardless of what social media may say from time to time, or
Yep.
the media that's out there.
Well, Artie, thank you for having me. Economic development is an important part of the city. Our economic growth is very important, and looking forward to our continued partnership. We are a team, and I look at it as a team. Every department in the city is part of a larger team, and we're just doing our part. And I'm honored to do that part.
Yeah, we're in it together, Chief.
That we are.
All right. And I'd like to thank our viewers for I guess coming to be with us today to talk to Police Chief Ferman Williford, who serves as the Chief of the City of College Park Police Department. And I would like to also thank everyone for tuning in. If you would like more information from the Police Department, Chief Williford, could you provide some contact information for them?
My email is fwilliford@collegeparkga.com, and I can be reached via phone at 404-761-3131, extension 2009.
That's a brave thing you just done. I've never give my extension out, and I never give my direct line out. That just shows you that Chief Williford is he's not afraid of the community. He wants to interface with the community, and he wants to build the best relationship moving forward. Thank you once again, Chief, for being with us today. Thanks for tuning in to the Clearly College Park podcast, where you will land in plain sight.